Are there any techniques of being able to improvise better as an MC with the audience? And yes, there's a whole load of them. I'm not trying to sell you anything as such, but I have a whole online course called How to Be a Brilliant Stand-Up Comedy MC, and it is jam-packed with tips about exactly this. So without going to exact details, just buy the course, I would make this point. It's not necessarily about being brilliant at improvising with the crowd, though that's definitely a skill set you want to engender, but it's as much about giving the impression that you have improvised with the crowd when in fact you're tapping into or leaning on material that you already had. So here in London in the UK, I would say that a vast number of men, a disproportionate number of men in this city are called Dave or Rob or Andrew or Phil or Steve, whatever it might be. There's a handful of names that are entirely common. Same is true with females, of course, in this part of the world. Helen's, Louise, Sarah, etc, etc, etc. So standard MCing crowd work might involve, hello mate, hello miss, what's your name? What do you do? Where do you come from? You certainly don't have to ask those questions, but it's not going to seem unreasonable if you do. And the likelihood is the same 10 or 20 names, same 10 or 20 occupations, and same 10 or 20 places that the audience might come from are going to come up again and again. So write a joke about the name Dave. Write a joke about somebody who works in IT or as a teacher. Write a joke about somebody who's from north, south, east, west part of your town, in my case London, or it could be Scotland, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Norway, France, Germany. We get a lot of people from all of those places in my room because we're an international city. It's inevitable at some point I'm going to run into somebody who's called Dave, who works in IT, or is from one of the places that I just mentioned. Having a joke about each of these in my back pocket that I can just dip into anytime I run into such a person gives the impression of me improvising and being incredibly off the cuff, when in fact I just pre-wrote 60 jokes and I can lean into them anytime I like, years after having written them. There's any number of other ways you can learn to improvise or give the impression of improvising with a crowd, but that's a good safe one. Pre-written jokes about the names you're likely to get, the occupations that your audience are likely to suggest that they take. Not suggest, they obviously do those jobs unless they're derailing and lying to you because they tell you they're an airline pilot or a gynecologist. These are typically the occupations audience members who lie will claim to be. And obviously the geographical regions where people come from. It's not too difficult to write a joke about the French if you're English, is it?